scouters say about its power level? It's over 9,000! What, 9,000? There's no way that can be right. Cut it!
Yeah, that's right. It is right. We're over 9,000 up in here. We only have 3 of us. That's how high our power levels have gotten. It's out of control, baby. Welcome back to the Gaming Lounge, This Week in Games. I'm Kai. I'm here with Culture Casino and Runner. What's shaking, y'all?
No, nothing exciting. I mean, just a bunch of gaming news not a lot of like upcoming gaming kind of stuff, but some gaming news, right? We've got some things to talk about. It'll probably be a shortened stream because we don't have a whole lot to talk about, but there's some stuff. There's some stuff.
Alrighty, let me pull up Culture's thing first.
Yep. You got to play the news. Got to play the news clip first.
Oh yeah, that's right. Where's the news thing?
Yeah, we got to.
That's not news.
That's not news.
Oh yeah,
that clip is the best.
It is. It works out well. Anyway, so yeah, so today in Newsweek they ran an article, this morning talking about Roblox, which is now worth $45.2 billion after going public on the New York Stock Exchange. In fact, if I could just get back to the story, I hate these pop-up bullshits. I mean, it's
pop-ups are the worst.
Anyway, so there we go. It's gone. Gaming company Roblox went public on the New York Stock Exchange on March 10th and quickly surged above its reference price of $45 a share. So it shot up to $69.50. So it went up 54%. So if you bought Roblox at the beginning of the day, on a reserve buy order or whatever, you did really well because it had only been traded on private markets before. So it's pretty cool. People who got invested in this right away. I know that this isn't anybody's jam here on this panel. I know that Runner had played it at a point in time, but
I did.
It
was fun at the time.
Yeah, it is an MMO, right? Large numbers of people are able to play and interact with one another simultaneously, and basically you create your own games within the game. So there's a lot to it. It looks interesting if this is your jam, but it was a pretty good story to cover the fact that just on their launch they are worth an enormous amount of money. Runner, do you have anything to say about the game at all?
Like just Roblox or Roblox in general. I think it was a thing for its time, in my opinion. Like you'll grow out of it in a certain point, so it's not something I haven't played it. I haven't played Roblox in a long time, but those first-person shooter like games that I used to play on there, pretty fucking fun back in the day, and it's fun to play with friends as well. So yeah, that's all I really got to say about it.
Cool. And Kai, you've never done this game, have you?
Nah, I didn't even hear about it until you mentioned it.
Well, it's a website, but you can play many games out of it.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. All right, well, let's move on. We've got more.
Let's pause real quick because we've got people in the chat now saying hi and stuff.
Cool.
So, yeah. Hello, chat. Biggles Mets unfortunately cannot be joining us today. Sorry to see you, or not see you. Actually, we'll see you next time, Biggles.
Yeah, good to see you, Biggs.
Yeah.
Play it again. All right, I will, since we're taking a break to check the chat. How you doing? Joe back.
I couldn't have said any better. Joe back.
I love the icon, bro.
Yep.
Sven. Hail, brother.
Yep.
Greetings, programs.
Sven will be joining us soon enough. Sven will be wanting to talk a little bit about some Naughty Dog stuff that he's been able to put together. So I'm looking forward to that. I'm gonna get with him this week, and we will get that put together for the channel. So thank you very much for your contributions, Sven. And anyway, who else is here, my man? We got
that's all I saw right there. Mando Merc, Soul Assassin, Sven, Michael Jolin, Shellback. Yeah.
Cool. I had a lot of fun on author Stephen Walton's channel, so it was
this morning.
That was funny.
It was a good time for sure. All right, well, we can definitely move on to the next thing in the news. Then, Kai, it is Gordon Hall, the Rockstar Leeds founder, He passed away at 51. I mean, like this, like just happened, like at 7:30. We found out about it this morning.
Oh wow!
Yeah, his division was actually responsible for a lot of game expansions. While at Rockstar Leeds, the studio developed Grand Theft Auto Liberty City Stories, Vice City Stories, in Chinatown Wars, and of course it was originally Mobius Entertainment, and then was acquired by Take-Two Interactive, which is Rockstar's parent company. But he had moved to Rockstar San Diego in 2009. Lending his expertise to Red Dead Redemption. He took a break between 2011 and 2013 to research the psychology behind microtransactions, and then returned as Activision Blizzard's mobile chief officer. So he really got around in the big, the upper echelons of the gaming corps. So it's a real shame, because super duper bummer there, right?
Yeah, rest in peace.
Yeah.
It's a big loss of talent.
All right, and moving forward from there, Star Citizen developers are fed up after being expected to work during the devastating Texas snowstorm. Yeah. I guess they were not happy because last month the entirety of Texas ground to a halt after a colossal winter storm pushed through the state's cordoned off power grid, pushed it to the brink. Power and heat outages, as well as resulting food and water shortages, led many businesses to temporarily shut down. This included a large number of Texan video game studios, which obviously Cloud Imperium Games, falls into that category. The Star Citizen developer has studios all over the world, of course, but the core of its massively crowd-funded MMO is, of course, in Texas. So basically, they were just sad that they had to work, and that's it. But really, the bigger problem was just communication, according to...
I don't think it was that they were sad. If they were like unable to get the basics, or have power, even like if you've got rolling blackouts, or if the power is suddenly going to cut out and you're working on something for hours, like there's no telling how much work you're going to lose when that happens. And so, in certain scenarios, it's just not efficient to have somebody trying to, you're just wasting time and money and effort and making their life harder.
Well, I mean, here's the thing. The only thing that they were asked to do is to make up the work time that they missed in order to get back on pace for the game's development cycle.
Oh, that's it? So, never mind. That's reasonable.
Yeah, it is. It's very reasonable. Hey, you guys got 4 days off of work. You're gonna need to fix that 4 days off of work. Unfortunately, caused by a natural disaster. But it is.
My bad. I understood it as like they're in the middle of the storm, and they're like, "Hey, why aren't you guys working?" Like, because I don't have power.
It's like, look, you either make this time up or take PTO. That was their options, and they got all whiny about it. So, but it is what it is. So, I mean, look, it's tough. Sometimes things come up. You can't make it to your job. There's a flood, a bridge collapse. There was an earthquake. Well, you still have deadlines and things that are due at a particular time. And, sometimes you just have to try to hit your deadlines of what you're supposed to do. Anyway, this should be under games news. So let's run the games news real quick.
We are in the news category.
No, it's upcoming.
Oh, upcoming?
Yeah. As much as I want to see the news clip again.
Where's upcoming? New game is not upcoming.
Yeah, well, technically, this is Borderlands 3 next expansion. This is upcoming or new games. Basically, it's been delayed till April, so you won't see this new expansion for Borderlands 3 if you're still playing it. I don't know many people that are still playing this game. Have you ever played Borderlands 3?
I have it. My friends got it for me, but we're in the middle of another game right now, so we haven't started on it yet. But it's they're playing through 1 and 2 with their son right now, and so once they get to 3, then we'll have a full party.
Well, I'm just going to tell you, I didn't enjoy it at all, not in any way, and there's no way I'm returning back to it. But go ahead, there, Runner.
I was going to say, I've played the pre-sequel for Borderlands because I got the Handsome Collection free from
Right.
PS Plus. And I didn't finish it because this fucking boss, I just couldn't beat it. And I'm like, you know what? I'm not gonna waste my time, so I'll deal with it later. But that's about it. That's all I've gotten to Borderlands. I mean, the games are pretty fun. I haven't played Borderlands 3. I've my friend thought it was all right. But I've heard other people say it wasn't good.
Yeah, I've heard mixed opinions. But
yeah, I've heard mixed opinions. Like is it woke? That's what I heard. I think.
Well, there is intersectionality in it for sure. Again, I mean, I'm not one of those people that, I mean, I'll give a game a fair shot, and then if it's just not fun for me, I just stop playing it. But Gearbox.
Exactly.
So reading the article, Gearbox announced this morning that it has delayed the release of the upcoming Borderlands 3 expansion, the director's cut, almost a full month due to the severe winter storms that swept through Texas. Hey guys, it's that same storm. So they pushed it back a month, even though it was only 4 days of delayed work. They pushed it back all the way to April 8th. So, and here's a nice way to say we suck. Thankfully, all of our team members and their families are safe and healthy, but our work on Director's Cut was unavoidably disruptive, and we've ultimately decided to shift the release date to ensure we deliver the best possible experience. Or you could have just said the game expansion wasn't going to be ready on time, and we lost 4 or 5 days of work, and so we're using it as an excuse. So, but anyway, compared to previous add-ons, Director's Cut looks to be more pared down Borderlands 3 experience, focused on recurring challenges, side missions, and a new raid boss known as Hemovorus, the Invincible, rather than a big story-expanding set-piece expansion. It rounds out the new content in the game's second season pass. So it is what it is. I'm not very excited about this. Again, I wasn't very excited about the game, so there's no way I'd be, jammed on this. Anybody have any other thoughts on this or no?
Watching the Borderlands 3 makes me want to play Apex. So
I understand.
Like Borderlands 3 specifically?
Yeah, like I see the gameplay and I'm like, you know what? I want to play.
Like I watched I think I watched my friend play it a little bit at his house, and that's about it. It was Borderlands 3, I believe. Borderlands 3. Yeah, it was Borderlands 3 because it came out around that time, and he was hyped and shit. So yeah,
I always liked the art style and the humor. But
yeah, me too.
The gameplay just sucks. I mean, it just isn't any good, and you can get stuck on a boss because you're not good at a particular game mechanic. It's just a pain in the ass.
Even when I play the pre-sequel, because that's the only one I've played so far. The gameplay isn't the greatest thing. I like the art style and the humor's great. That's what you're trying to aim for with a game like Borderlands.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean,
I played a little bit of that Telltale game as well. I forgot about that.
Oh, going way back in time. Yeah, they self-destructed. That studio blowed up. Any final thoughts on this, guys?
My friend, a super duper cute streamer, a Canadian streamer named Bella2, she plays Borderlands 3 once in a while. I don't know if she's playing it, if it's one of the games in her rotation right now, but it's a really cute streamer to follow.
Hey, God, you simp. All right, let me.
She's a total sweetheart. Watch, if you watch her, you'll know, you'll get it. You'll be like,
dude, we should have her on. We should have her on the show.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. And I'll see if I can get Lady Kilala on here as well, because that's another really cool streamer. Anyway, so we have the next story, which is a weird one. I'm not sure what to categorize it as. Kai, what do you want to call this next one?
What's the next one? I don't know. Private chat.
Code Miko Code Miko.
Oh, that. What category? Are you asking me how to categorize it, or how we should present the stories?
Yeah. Well, yeah. Pick the thing and hit the what button you think it is. Dealer's choice. Since you're running.
Welcome to the Gaming Lounge School, guys.
Yeah.
Where we have Mr. Cole.
Because I can't think. Oh, wait, that's the wrong one.
No.
We circled back around.
Oh, there you go. Well, there's a couple ways to present this story, and this is from the Kotaku article. Kai found another one which he can share as well, or basically, I guess, the Twitter background for this person.
I thought you were going to share it instead
Hey,
of Kotaku.
Kai, check backstage.
Yeah, Makity just dropped into the back there. Hey, what's up, Makity?
Hey, guys.
What's up?
So, if you're not familiar, you're going to start seeing more and more of these virtual waifus that are people in mocap suits that do performances. They do talk. They're soft. They're often found in just chatting, stuff like this. You have Code Miko. This is who is
Stuff
Code
like
Miko.
Project Melody.
Yeah, exactly. So here we go. Kai's going to read his story. So go ahead, my friend.
Yeah, she's cute.
Okay. Yeah, so if this is her in her mocap suit, like, she's already super cute. She's gorgeous. So it's not like she's misrepresenting herself with her digital avatar. Okay, like it's a lateral move there. But in recent times, the rise of VTubers or virtual YouTubers, digital renditions of streamers utilizing AI to change their appearance has shifted the landscape for broadcasters worldwide. As a new opportunity presents itself for those adventurous enough to make the most of it. So intrigued by the appearance of a new type of streaming framework. Hold on. So you stumbled upon Code Miko. So you stumbled upon the virtual Code Miko clip on Twitter, where the person behind the character showed off the technology powering Miko and want to know more about her. Well, that was a clumsy sentence. Well, let's not keep you waiting. Stop with the fluff, asshole. Get to the content. Project Code Miko is a virtual streamer created using the Unreal Engine software and controlled via an Xsense motion capture suit. Xsense.
Yeah, and Xsense is kind of the industry standard on the low end right now for mocaps. We can utilize them to do mocap of body actions in real time. They're sophisticated enough that they will keep pace with an actor, let's say, doing a very precise fight scene. So, and you can track more than one combatant simultaneously, and those can then be reflected in real time on the screen as the characters that are fighting. So you can actually, this is the other neat thing about the new means of production, is you're going to start seeing this, but the Xsense mocap suits are very cool. They don't require a lot of balls and things like that to be mounted on someone's person. They use motion tracking bands, essentially, that are in specific positions on the body. Anyway, go ahead, Kai.
Yeah, no, that's I've never worked with mocap. I've always preferred keyframe animation. I just haven't ended up somewhere that uses mocap, so I don't know much about the suits and all that. But
mocap looks like fun. The whole mocap technology stuff is just cool in my opinion.
You have to consider this. I was on the verge of doing this before I decided to reveal my face. I was going to be a fully virtual thing, and it was going to be obviously me looking in a virtual form doing this same thing, including investing in the leap motion technology to capture my hands, the facial capture camera and light, and the bodysuit. So, but I elected to go the other direction. Now, doesn't mean I won't consider doing this in the future, especially for Twitch streaming, but you can also misrepresent yourself. You can use a voice changer and be a male and present yourself as female. That's the other cool thing about this technology, or present yourself as a robot or whatever else.
Yeah, I would like to do like a mocap thing in my channel sometime, because it's cool stuff, and I like some of the more recent games with their mocap technology. Like the voice actor playing them looks exactly like them. Like was it Uncharted 4? Like Nathan Drake literally looks like Nolan North.
Soul Assassin probably not, because these are newer, but. Like LA Noire, definitely not. The Star Wars games, depending on the game, maybe. Yeah, bruh. It was.
Yeah, it must be, but it's fucking cool.
As a VTuber, missed chance right there.
He's got the hair. He's got the hair for it.
I actually hired some, or was on the verge of hiring somebody for developing my 3D avatar, and doing it like all, casino boss kind of guy, right? And I was thinking that'd be kind of a fun way to present myself. But ultimately, I'm glad I went this direction because I feel like I can connect with people as well, and they get to know me directly. But that doesn't mean I'm not going to do something like it in the future. So I'll let everybody know when I decide to make a channel it's based in VTubing, because I still am fascinated by the technology. I have, access to the VR stuff and everything else. So there's no reason for me not to consider it.
I think if I went VTuber, I'd go super wacky with it. I get freaking weird, man. The thing that makes Miko shine on top of being a novelty on her own is the interactivity present in every broadcast. As the technician describes it, the technician is the person that built Miko and set her up technically top to bottom. The streams are a quasi-interactive RPG, where it's kind of like an arcade and a game and a stream and an RPG at the same time. You guys want to watch the clip?
Yeah, go for it.
All right. The hell?
It launches in Twitch.
Oh, okay.
The volume's really low.
Oh. I'm not sharing audio. Hold on.
That makes sense.
I wasn't gonna. It was just an article, so I was like, I don't need audio.
I was gonna say, no, that sounds super quiet.
In order to modify
Is that working?
body, the character screen, I'm gonna use it on this.
Oh,
I'm already.
shit!
That's why Twitch might ban her.
There you go.
Because you can adjust her body.
There. Yeah, and basically what this is morph targets and joints working in conjunction with each other. In order to create different.
Is that Mario Kart 8 music? Is she playing Mario Kart with Ords?
And whatever, and make her into a character here. Let me do a face slider. Here, try this.
Okay, so that's how that works.
Now
it looks like Sid from Ice Age.
There you go.
Okay, so I know how she's rigged. I understand how she's rigged. That's interesting.
See, right there, that picture, that looks perfect. Just leave it like that.
I haven't used that. I haven't used those mechanisms together before, but it might be fun to play with if I ever want to mess with the 3D.
I'm going to be honest. This customization is better than the Cyberpunk one. I'm going to be honest. Makini will probably agree with me there.
Yeah, it's. I'm actually watching a couple of the clips too, which is just so funny to look at. What I find really interesting is that more and more we're seeing this kind of mocap technology become much more accessible and to obtain in the public sphere. It's just it's just say you must have the right amount of cash for it. But it's something that I think as time goes on, it's going to be more easily accessible to mainstream public, even for people who don't have a budget or people who don't have the means for it. So it's really interesting, and it's really interesting to see kind of people utilize this and be able to utilize it to kind of utilize it to really kind of be in a way to be innovative, to kind of break kind of molds. And in some ways we saw with Project Melody and such when she was blowing up big time, and seeing this is that and it seems that I would say that stuff like this is probably the stuff that's worth watching on Twitch just because it's really interesting, and just because it's really interesting really kind of says what I was saying, and it really shows a lot of creativity as well.
Well, and I think that we're more interested in connecting, having an opportunity to connect with this virtual stuff, because it's more than just a novelty. I mean, it's essentially the physical fantasy representation of whatever it is you're presenting. Like I said, it had come under serious consideration for me, and it's not priced out of everybody's market. You can get pretty good versions of this tech for not a whole lot of money. The mocap can be done by a good web camera. The problem is you have to be well lit in the face to get it done, like a ring light or something, and you need a leap motion capture device for your hands and wrists. and it can pick all those motions up. Everything else, like this is full body stuff that she can do. That requires, either a mocap suit or a rigged something that's rigged to your VR system, like the new Valve Index Knuckles system or stuff like that. You can do it that way as well. But it's just it's just something to consider that you don't necessarily need all the highest end of stuff, but when you can afford it, it's going to make that product that much better. I like the idea of the real time, edit on the fly stuff, because you could create a really cool interactive environment for them. Like if you were a vampire or something, you could essentially edit your character on the fly in your presentation. So, but anyway, let's get around to the crux of the story, because there's a reason we're covering this.
Yeah, so viewers can not only sometimes alter Miko's physical attributes by interacting in the chat room. They can mess with Miko's stream using bits, Twitch's money. From the innocuous mute-unmute options to making dead bodies explode behind her, Miko's streams really go from 0 to 100 in a matter of seconds. As the project is currently still in development, there are a few glitches that pop up here and there during the streams, but we think it adds to the charm of Miko's unpredictable personality. If you're interested, check her Twitch, etc. So,
yeah, there's a reason why this is key. The story that I'm sharing right now is that reason. Right now, Twitch is considering banning Code Miko from the platform, and the reasoning behind it is kind of interesting. I'm going to scroll through the story to get there. The concept that drives Miko's stream is simple. She's a glitchy video game character who interviews real people, specifically famous Twitch personalities. The great strength of her act is Miko, the character, does not know who any of these people are. And even when she does, she doesn't give an F, right? She's kind of a dick, but a lovable dick. Miko, the real person, not the character, told, obviously, Kotaku, which is where this article is from, is not a real person in an interview. She has no filter. I think that's what makes her slightly more, dickish. I'm trying not to say that word a lot because I'd like the channel to be monetized at some point. But she's yelled at Pokimane about catheters. She forced Piker to talk about Dark Souls boss he could not defeat. And Miko was dressed up as that boss, by the way. And she's gotten Donkey in trouble with his girlfriend. So there you go. So, but they're considering banning her. It all started when Miko died. Miko began streaming while working at an LA-based animation studio, specifically on live animation, which is how she came up with the idea for her stream. But even after she got laid off and began streaming full-time last year, she found herself gaining traction at a familiar pace. Most Twitch streamers, glacially, which means slow. On top of that, she was $20K in debt because of her stream setup. No kidding. And she was unemployed, making $300 per month on Twitch. She could no longer afford her apartment. But just before she was forced to pack it in, she had a breakthrough. Viewers discovered after 3 months of slow progress, and she would happily pay to murder her. So essentially, the stream started to murder her, right? So it was a way that people could kick in bits, and which again is Twitter's currency, just to murder her. Miko dying was random enough that it caught me a couple of times. And so, like I said, I mean, the idea here is that she could get banned because people don't like that, and they also don't like some of the content.
Her virtual avatar. That's hilarious.
Yeah. Sorry to interrupt. It's not too far off to the issue that people have with Project Melody, because she was doing the exact same thing the girls on Twitch would do. She was just they threw of it because she was basically stealing, their attention, their money and such. Because she was more interested in doing it as an avatar and such, so people threw out a fit with this. From the way it sounds with Code Miko, it sounds the same way, is that she's not she's being out there on Twitch, and she doesn't care. She doesn't care what anybody thinks. It's just it doesn't matter to her. So she's not, I guess in a way, she's not conforming to the standards that Twitch likes to pose on everyone.
Right. Yeah, that's a good way to put it. Exactly. And here's the thing. I mean, this is another person that's, breaking in a different way.
Mhm.
And as you said, I mean, the Twitch, sometimes they're not fond of that.
No.
So I don't know, man. We're in such a strange place with most of this stuff anymore.
Mhm.
It's borderline disgusting to many of us that, somebody who's being innovative is being punished, and it's quite possible she could end up not being able to stream anymore, which I think would be a crime.
Yeah.
But anyway, regardless, I mean, she does have some cutting edge stuff. She, like, her shirt will run messages, and they continue to they go out across her shirt at a blistering pace, of course, because people are constantly putting stuff in there.
I saw a clip of that.
Yeah, but of course, you can also get things on there that are not
they're not Twitch friendly, basically.
Yes, thank you.
Really,
they're very
the terms of service violations, basically.
Yeah, but if you want to read this story, even though it's on Kotaku, I highly recommend it because, again, I think this kind of streaming is kind of the future. I think you're going to see more and more of it in the just chatting space, and even people who actually stream games. I think it would be interesting to watch a character looking like the character that's playing, talking to you while they're playing the game. Like, could you imagine, like, Metal Snake, in Metal Gear Solid, right? Doing or Solid Snake, excuse me, doing Metal Gear Solid on a stream. That'd be freaking awesome, right?
That'd be Inception.
Yeah. So I mean, there's a lot of things that you can do here. So it's a concept I've loved. I've been loving the idea of doing, which is, again, why I thought about it. Anyway, we've got a lot of people in chat throwing chats our way. If you want to get through those, Kai, I'm sorry. We went for a little longer than I planned on this.
Yeah, that's all good. I already pulled up a couple of the chats here. Yeah, same thing as a character dying in the game. It's exactly the same thing.
Yeah. And applaud, here's applause to her. She's made an income for it, and I have nothing but respect for them for doing it. So
yeah, they just scroll across her titties.
Yeah, they're already like clips of. I watched the clips of her on YouTube as well, so there's plenty of her stuff in there as her own channel. It's the way I see it is that the way I see her kind of breaking through the same way that we saw this huge wave of VTubers breaking through, thanks to like Hololive and to big personalities like Curio Coco and Gargara and such like that. So,
well, and I think better than Project Melody, which a lot of people are now familiar with. I think this is a much better version of that concept or idea. But that's just me. I mean, like I said, I prefer that kind of presentation, and I think a lot of people are going to be in that same boat. I mean, I'm starting to believe now that that I think we're going to have entire virtual worlds that people just prefer to be in. So I see that being the future. I don't think I'm wrong.
It's going to be unfortunate because that won't fix any of the problems of the world.
Yeah.
No, because the world's kind of super sucking right now, so I can't blame people for trying to escape it. And since their escapism is being compromised, so.
Well, but speaking of which, like we're saying that we're kind of, it looks like we're sliding into Ready Player One status. But I read the book; it's amazing. If you watch the movie, whatever, it worked, I guess. But how in Ready Player One, haptic suits, like the motion cap suits, are commonplace. Everyone's got them. How long do you guys think until we're there with the mocap suits?
I would maybe go ahead, Culture.
No, I was gonna say, you mean at the same level as in the film?
Where it's commonplace, where I could go get one. I could be like, I could buy a TV, I could buy a mocap suit, I could buy a PS5.
10 years. 10 years.
I was gonna say, give it the next decade.
Yeah.
Okay, on the same.
I'd like a
page.
decade or maybe a little more. The only reason I say a little more is like, because remember looking because I'm thinking like it'll come out a decade, but like it may not work well the first time, so they'll have to like improve it later on, and then it gets better. That's why I'm saying a decade and maybe a couple of years after that.
No,
It's already
here's why you're wrong, and it's not. And I'm not trying to be a jerk about it, Runner.
No, I mean that's again. This is just me. I'm not saying I'm right.
No. The reason I'm saying it that way is this: we already have mocap. You guys just maybe may not be familiar with it. Your webcam's doing it already. Your iPhone, if you have one, has multiple cameras on it. It can already compensate for parallax. So you can put anything in 3 dimensions. Once you can dimensionalize something, you can map it. Once you map it, you can capture that motion. Right. You also have all of this VR tech. What does the VR tech do? I mean, it exists in many of our households already. So if you have like the Xbox camera thing, the Kinect, that thing you can do it with already. It will already capture in real time, and just your body. It doesn't need the suit. The suit just helps for telemetry information to get it more close to real time, especially with quick motions. Right. It also allows for 3D representation. So when you turn away from the camera, the motion track is being tracked. You're not. The other thing is anything that's a VR system, like the Vive, like the Index, like the Oculus. Those VR systems, the Oculus is a little unique, especially the wireless one, because it has inside out capture rather than outside in capture. So the outside in capture would be the Vive and the Index and stuff like that. And that particular platform, those are starting to become more and more available. Like for the new machine, I'm going to be plugging in a Valve Index, and I'm going to start doing some VR gaming at some point. That way I can share that with people on a stream. And it's also really cool to be playing like a tabletop game in Tabletop Simulator in VR, because you literally move your pieces around the board and you see them there. And the people that are watching the stream can see that happen as well. So, but you're already doing motion capture with all those devices, and you don't even need the suit. So the reason I disagree is that you can get real time capture data from a VR system just as efficiently or as effectively as with a lot of the mocap suits. Sometimes the telemetry is just behind. So, like I said, we're on the cusp of it already. That's why within 10 years, it's going to be affordable for everybody. It might be built into your television. It wouldn't be hard to do that.
It's already at the point where people are buying.
I don't disagree with you, Culture. My whole point was that, like, I've heard some people say, like, it's possible that this will be invented at this time and it'll work and yada yada yada. Like, and it doesn't. Like, what was it? Like, was it like Back to the Future 2? Like, that whole movie. Like, what year did they go to again with the flying cars? Wasn't it like 2016 or some shit?
2015, I think.
Yeah, 2015. Yeah, 2015 did not have flying fucking cars.
And they still had fax machines.
Yeah, you understand my point, right? Like you.
Anytime, pause real quick. I want to first say hi to Atlantean. Welcome, brother.
Okay.
Good to have you with us.
I mean, it was just a quick point. Like, I'm just saying, you can say
runner.
You know,
runner. We're saying hi to Atlantean.
All right.
Hi, Atlantean.
I was gonna say hi to the Atlantean after my point was made. Okay, hi the Atlantean.
We'll come back around so we.
Runner. Just so you don't feel bad, I'm gonna say this right now. Runner is not a chew toy.
I knew you were gonna say that. Thank you.
We're not picking on Runner. I asked Runner to pause so we can say hi to you and stuff.
No. I wasn't saying Runner's not a chew toy because you were picking on him. I'm saying that because I say that. That's the runner. That's a running gag now.
Yeah, that's just a saying that he says.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so anyway,
shut up, Runner.
Jack, of all casuals, the mocap would not really affect. It wouldn't put any extra tax on your broadband, because it would be just like with the controller. The information is going between your controller and the console, and then it's being relayed out from there. So it would be exactly the same thing. The feedback from your suit would be going to your console, and then that would be relayed out between systems.
Yeah, I mean, there is some overhead on the device level, but the stream data wouldn't be that any difference, because it's all done internally on the device before it goes across the broadband. So it wouldn't really kick up more, and pixel density might change, so it would be small variance, but not substantial. So, yeah.
Shit, I'm waiting for Jaws 17. I heard that was the good one.
Did you say 17? Because he said 19.
Still waiting for Jaws 19. Back to the Future. They had like a Jaws 19.
Oh, that's right. Forgot about that. I'm still waiting. I want to see that too.
I say
That'd be
anyway,
dope.
you want to criticize Back to the Future for not having flying cars in 2015. What about Escape from New
I'm
York?
not
that set in-
criticizing it. Criticizing isn't the right word to use. I'm just saying that culture is saying that we are going to get some more advanced VR technology in the in like 10 years. And you know, he's probably right. I'm not saying he's not.
Oh, I agree.
He made a
Hold on, Runner. That's not the conversation. Actually, we're talking about when is the technology, the mocap technology, going to reach mass market. So when is it going to be cheap enough that like you and me could buy one?
That's what I was saying earlier.
What do you define as?
We're talking about more technology.
What do you define?
I don't know.
No.
And I'm just saying I can't say that it would be a decade exactly. I mean, I don't know.
We're saying about a decade. We're saying in about 10 years.
Maybe.
We'll be able to buy this without putting ourselves into debt.
Well, I mean, it also really depends on. I mean, because look, it doesn't matter how feasible mocap gets. Motion capture is a technology that's going to be expensive no matter what, just because of everything that goes into it. It's not like buying a smartphone, for like $150, and technically most smartphones still go for about $1,000 anyway. You know, so it's not like technology decreases in price, as it goes out. There are smartphones nowadays that are still going for about $700-800. Granted, they're top of the line, but still.
Yeah. So I got so Terry Rose, I just want to address this, even though it's not related to anything. They don't teach etiquette in school anymore. I think we're gonna see things circle back around that way to where they start teaching etiquette in school. Not only that, but digital safety and etiquette. And they start teaching kids in school how to be safe online and how to conduct themselves online respectfully, because a lot of the people being little shits right now on like Twitter and stuff, they're kids. Like they ain't even full on adults yet. So I think we're gonna start seeing that. I'd like to see some legal legislation about whatever.
Speaking of VR for one thing, because it's kind of similar but not really. But like the fucking PSVR is more expensive than a fucking PS4 system. Like I'm just saying, like that, those price things pretty high.
But understand. You can go get the original Xbox Connect, buy it used for like $10, or you can get it like on any tech site for like $60. That has enough range that it can calculate your body position with just a couple of small add-ons that you add on, just a few programs, and you can do in real time capture.
I didn't think of that.
Yeah, in fact, with just your webcam that you have on, you just faced at your face right now, you can go out, you can utilize a program called Face Rig and do what Fat Steven Seagal does in real time. So that is real time mocap. It's primarily for facial capture. If you want to catch your hands, you have to get a Leap Motion, which is not terribly expensive either. So you can get into a decent place for under $1,000.
Did he mute himself?
Yeah, he just muted himself when he was talking.
That was me for a second.
Yeah, I thought that was me too. And then
I muted myself after I finished speaking so I could drink some water because I didn't want to cough at you guys.
Oh, you weren't done speaking from my end.
I say you cut yourself off.
You did
before you finished.
I have no idea what I was saying, but anyway, what's really, really important is that this is the wave of the future. It's not going to be expensive. In under 10 years, everybody will be able to afford something that will be full body capture, and it won't be any problem from there. So
yeah, I'm not sure if my webcam right now can do this because this thing is trash.
What is going to be the barometer for affordable in the future?
Well, I'm saying like something that you and we could buy without putting ourselves in debt, like a PlayStation.
Kai, that's not what I was asking. I know what affordable.
I would say about $450.
About the price of a console.
Yeah,
I'd say even a G is still attainable. It's not as attainable.
Well,
But-
that's why I was asking what the barometer for being considered affordable was going to be, because technically $2,000 is attainable, but it's a good chunk of change for many bits of technology.
Yeah.
I'd say once you're under 1,000 is when you're there.
Yeah,
Well,
but I think about 450, and I'll tell you why I think that, Atlantean. I think that because accelerometers and the miniaturization of that tech is getting better and better. At that point, all you need is optical capture data mixed with the telemetry information from the sensors to do it in real time super effectively. You can do it on an Arduino. So I mean, you're talking about $100 worth of tech on the Arduino with the right shield, and the accelerometers as they get smaller. The only thing that it's going to be the battery tech for the wireless sensors that would be the limiting factor, which is why the Xsense suits are so expensive. So
we're. Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say so. Basically, what we're discussing isn't high end mocap. It's effectively going to be a poor man's version of motion capture.
Well, no, it's going to be the same technology. Just
what? You both started talking over each other?
Yeah, you were.
Well, you said what, and neither one of us know who you're talking to.
I was
I'm so fucking confused now. What the fuck's going on?
Since Culture and I started this at talking about, I originally asked the question of when is this technology going to be mass market? So the same tech, it's just so commonplace that it's being mass produced. The parts aren't as expensive, etc. Like to where we can get a mocap suit. So that was the premise of the whole topic. Culture, take it away.
Yeah, no. So my thought is this: it won't be poor man anything because you're going to have the same tech. It'll just be a system that you build out. I think Atlantean. I think that if it won't be. I don't think it's going to be terribly expensive for terribly much longer. It's that I think as you move forward in tech, I think it's going to be people are going to have to learn more in order to utilize it. I think because that right now that seems to be the limiting factor in a lot of the tech stuff that we're being presented with at the moment. Because our phones can do so much more; they're capable of so much more than even the silly apps that we have are able to utilize it for. But yeah, it is what it is.
Yeah, McAdee.
I really can't really say much on this one. I pretty much agree with what you guys are pretty much saying. I think it will in about a decade, when we get into at least the early to mid 2030s. I think this kind of technology will be more and more accessible to the public eye and to people who are on a budget and to people who can afford it. So I guess for me is that I think it's very bright to look at, but at the same time, knowing the state of the world is and everything, it's important to kind of use this VR tech and use it responsibly. Yeah.
How could we use it irresponsibly?
Well, probably ways to it. It's just.
Wait a minute. You didn't already think of that, Kai? You want me to spell it out?
It's just.
I mean, like, it's not irresponsible. Let's say you use it to have intercourse with somebody virtually.
Right.
That's not irresponsible because no one's going to catch it.
What I guess what I mean is considering that, like, state of social media and such like that, people will use it for nefarious purposes and to more hurt than help, if you know what I mean.
Wait, what? Run that by me again?
Never mind.
Okay, so one of the nefarious ways that you can use this tech is to do a deep fake of somebody in real time. Because all you have to do is have a mask that represents them physically and their physical features. With enough computing power, you essentially could create something nefarious, and misrepresent somebody's actions and or words.
Well, we're already at the point where we can deep fake some crazy stuff, so.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but this will make it even more, even easier. You can do it in real time. Wouldn't be hard.
Yeah, just kind of things like that. Just that's what I'm saying. Just kind of, using it. More important, just kind of learn how to use it and learn how to use it responsibly.
Yeah, that was actually a thing. I don't know who here has seen Babylon 5, but there's a point where they're trying to get somebody to confess to things that they didn't do, and they're like, "We want you to do it in person, in front of a crowd, etc. We could use a hologram, but the people are always gonna be suspicious. Like it's gotta be you. Say it, yourself." And he was like, "No, you guys can eat my, kibbles and bits."
Mm-hmm.
I'm like,
Yeah.
And but that was a nice little line about like kind of where things are going to go technologically and how people are going to respond to it. But yeah, where'd you go, Atlantean? I guess Atlantean's AFK. You say anything in private chat? No. All right. So anyway, are you guys looking forward to having like full-on feedback suits?
I think haptic feedback is going to be another thing that's going to require a lot of battery technology advances. I think that's, again, where we're limited. I mean, it took a very long time. Remember when you used to have to add a rumble pack to your controller to get it to vibrate when you got hit by things? So I think we're going to be in a position where that's going to be also a limiting factor. So I don't know. What do you think, Atlantean?
I got nothing really. I don't know much about motion capture.
Yeah.
I know there's varying degrees of motion capture, like, with the face capture that Fast Steven Seagal uses, and hold on a second. The idea of, things like that. But I also know that it progressively gets more and more advanced the further up the technology chain you go. That's really the basis of what my original question was before Kai interrupted me. On what level are we going to consider this affordable, and for what particular type of motion capture? Because even if gyroscopes and facial recognition with cameras gets better, I really don't believe that anything is going to beat an actual mocap suit with every little bit that comes with it that will actually make it the most accurate. That's more or less why I was asking, like, what type of motion capture are we thinking is going to be more affordable compared to what already exists?
I think on par with what studios use right now for presentations in real time. I think that's, like I said, I think that's inside of the 10-year window, and I think it's not going to be much more expensive than $450, $500. Well, again, we're about to hit hyperinflation, so $450 might be $4,000 in the future, and everybody makes $2 million a year or some shit. I just, we just don't know what's going to happen. I mean, we're getting back to Jimmy Carter economics here.
I say discarding that crap.
In today's dollars, I think about $450.
Because I've done some research on getting motion capture stuff, and it is. I mean, technically, it's feasible to get even top notch motion capture stuff. For like a suit for like maybe $3 or $4 grand if you know where to look. So that's more or less what it's expensive. That's not at all affordable for your average person, which is again why I was asking. I don't necessarily think that particular type of technology is going to become cheaper, and if what exists now will eventually be cheaper, then I think it's going to be replaced by something far better in the future. So it's just going to be one of those cycles, kind of like with phones. Like, I'm not even going to touch on that subject.
Well, but you're not wrong. I mean, phones exponentially increase in their capabilities and, what they're utilized for on a daily basis. I mean, we're now in a position where people like you and me can make a feature film on our 4K phone. I mean, our phones shoot 4K raw video now, which is insane.
I'm going to speak to something Terry Rose said. Inflation fears are inflated. Well, you would have a point, but the problem is we have an administration in the office, right, in the White House right now, that feels the need to print money in order to give stimulus checks. Okay, that money's not coming out of thin air. So fears of inflation aren't necessarily as inflated as you may think they are. Anyway.
Yeah, that is an issue of that's what happened in Germany after World War I when they got saddled with the bill.
Yeah.
And so then they got fine. And so they just printed the money and gave it to everyone and then gave them the finger. And then they were like, "Oh shit, our economy."
Yeah, it's like, I don't even want to say, that's not related to something like this because it's fucking tied to technology. You can't deny it, Talk anyway.
Well, I mean, there's always, what happens when the aristocracy gets too crazy and thinks they're untouchable.
All right.
French showed you what happens. Remember, all you needed was a cartridge or disc to play games. Nowadays, you don't even need those. You just download it on your computer and pew, 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 pew.
Yeah, but that comes with its own negative side effects.
Mm-hmm.
That's true. But I only go with digital on Steam.
Huh?
I only buy digital on Steam.
Yeah. Even still, that comes with very, very bad side effects. Very bad side effects. Anyway, what's your next topic?
$8. Instead of 12 or 18 or whatever. You know what I mean?
I'd rather pay 18 and have a physical copy.
Yeah, but I don't have 18. So,
I mean, for PC, I would say digital is all right, but if it's console, I'd rather get physical.
Well, the problem with digital is you don't technically own the product no matter what. You don't own a physical copy. You don't own a way of keeping that around. If you're
that's why I want to get physical when it comes to movies, games.
Well, I was also talking to Kai about that one. You spend $3 on digital, but that's $3 you're spending on something you don't have a chance to actually keep and back up. Versus the 18, I mean, you pretty much have the physical copy for as long as it exists.
True, but I don't have a physical disk drive on my computer. And then also, if I remember right, with Steam's policies, like they're not gonna take a game off that you've bought. Like you bought this game, it's in your library, it's yours.
Oh, sure.
Install it and everything. Like they're not gonna remove it from your library. You can even add games that aren't in their library so that they can store it for you, and you can always come back and re-download it. Which is not common.
Lesson learned, kids. Get a disk drive for your PC.
Well, that would be great if many games actually were released on physical discs now.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah,
but not a lot do.
Well, for a lot of indie games, it's not even an option, right? Because like if they just release online, they put their game out online and on Steam, and you don't have a publisher to produce a bunch of physical copies. So the downside of like a boom in indie developers is that there's not an equivalent boom in physical media for their content.
There should be.
Well, it is stuff that's why we have companies like I think it's like WayForward or Limited Run Games who will do physical copies of a limited run of physical copies of many indie titles nowadays.
That's cool. I didn't know about that.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not just a matter of having physical copies or whatnot. It's also actually having indie developers to eventually hone their craft and create for more than just, say a PC market. If you don't have them,
Hey, Culture, check the private chat there. Breaking some arbitrary rule.
Yep. I'm set up for it. Yep.
That's true, but what rule are you gonna break? Like, unless you're being a dick, and breaking the terms of service like badly, I don't think Steam's gonna straight give you. Or unless actually, if you're going around like harassing people, you might get a ban. But
yeah, well, Steam is probably the exception right now. I was gonna say Steam is probably the exception to that. They've pretty much established the way they do business, the way they do digital. They have the market on how they do things. They're not going to change how they do it. But think of other companies. Think of Google Stadia. Think of Amazon. Think of these, especially these kind of people who are operated by people who are so quick to anger over the slightest little needle prick. and we'll look for we'll look for a reason. As officials say not to worry. See, that's exactly why I'm not going to take their word for it. If an official is going to tell me not to worry, I'm going to fucking worry.
Yeah, right.
I don't want to get too derailed on government.
Yeah,
that's where I'm staying.
They don't have a track record right now, Atlantean, do they? I mean, you have to remember, right at the beginning of all this hot mess, they said that masks don't work.
Oh, I remember. I remember. And Fauci was on TV saying you don't need to wear a mask if you're healthy. And then, CDC a month and a half later, everybody needs to wear a mask. And then actually, I think.
All right. Well, let's move on from this topic with. Yeah, you didn't see us yesterday, did you? Yeah, that's a good one.
Why?
I still think that's
the best. Why? So let's play that one again and show him why.
Yeah, what's the problem with that, Atlantean?
Yeah, Amazon Prime Day 2021 date and what to expect. Well, guys, I'm going to tell you right now, you can save at least $21 on a Switch and maybe more. So consider that when you are given the opportunity to participate in Amazon Prime Day. So here we go. Go ahead.
So can I ask a question before we get into this?
Yeah.
Why the fuck would we want to buy shit from Amazon given everything that's going on?
Well, sometimes people only have access to that right now. When it comes to things like Twitch Twitch and things like that. But I don't disagree with you, Atlantean, if you can avoid utilizing Amazon.
I'm just saying because it's like that's what I was gonna go into. It's like
yeah, no, but I mean, there are people who only have access to things through Amazon, unfortunately.
Well, I mean, oh my god! No. I have ideas popping into my head.
Yeah, no, you're not wrong. But GameStops across the country have closed. If you live in the backwoods in one of these smaller towns in like Wisconsin or something, and you don't have access to anything other than a Walmart, and they have been having difficulty keeping their Switches and other things in stock.
Oh yeah.
And if this is your only source of entertainment or information, I mean, some of this sometimes you have
as well.
Yeah,
I know.
I'm not a big fan of it. It's based on this simple fact that Amazon's doing a very poor job of taking care of itself and employees.
I agree.
I was partially just being a trollish dick because I poking fun at the fact that most of us really don't have a choice. But yeah, it's like, oh goodness. Anyway, so what the hell is this Prime Day thing?
Prime Day happens, a day or two or twice a year, it just depends, where they essentially are giving you a 48-hour window to get things at steep discount. So it's, and especially if you have you're one of the Amazon Prime members. So if you're a Prime member, you're eligible for Prime Day. There's a lot of deals in there. It's a good way to do some Christmas shopping in advance, stuff like that for some people. But the event started in 2015, and it's just grown in popularity since then. So here we go. Prime Day is typically celebrated in July. However, last year, Prime occurred in October 13th. The current crisis we're dealing with had an unprecedented surge during that period of time. And that means that Prime Day will probably and likely return to its July timeframe, which I think they've already announced. So if that's the case, then coming up in July, anticipate these kinds of deals. These are the deals from last year. So as you can see, there were a lot of things that went for very, very much cheaper than they normally would have. So, it's $500 on a TV. MacBook Air was, substantially discounted by $150. New phones were drastically discounted, a couple $100, $250. You had gaming laptops, all kinds of things that went down fairly substantially, right? So, and that's just based on the stuff from last year. So, but it's anticipated right now. And of course, I pulled up the Tom's Guide article, but there's an article in Tech Radar right now that tells you that at the upcoming Prime Day, you're going to save at least $21 on a Switch, if not far more.
$21 pretty much covers the tax.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And if you're already a Prime member, your shipping is paid for already.
Well, that's true.
You know, it's not the worst. It's not the worst thing. It's not the worst thing in the world. Again, I'm not going to hold them up as an amazing icon of goodness and goodwill because it's Amazon. But you know, it is what it is.
I know it's probably stupid of me thinking this, but I'm just like, I'm kind of holding out on getting a Switch until just everything starts to kind of go back to normal. Everything starts to everybody I'm back to working again and such. And then a part of me is thinking that with the news and like rumors of the Switch Pro coming out this year, the thing is that's going to be sold out quicker than the PS5. So I'm like, damn.
Am I the only one that really doesn't believe they're going to make a Switch Pro?
They are.
They are.
I don't believe they are.
It's a Super Nintendo Switch. Let's get it right, okay? Super Nintendo Switch.
Hold on a second. Is this confirmed or is this just rumors and speculation that we've been following?
No, it's confirmed.
It's confirmed.
The various. Yeah.
I was gonna say. Yeah.
About it, but the fact that it's happening is confirmed.
Super Nintendo Switch.
Yeah.
The name is a rumor, but I like
Pro.
it. Nintendo Switch Pro.
Yeah, but
like PS4 Pro.
Yeah,
that sounds right there.
Yeah, so I haven't heard anything official about this. I've only been hearing rumors and speculation.
Man, that sucks, man.
That's why I was asking. It's like I've never heard anything official like this.
Yeah, man, it's happening.
Yeah, and from the way it sounds like it will sell out quicker than a PS5.
I doubt it.
Well, the thing is that Nintendo will be able to better meet the demand, unlike Sony and Microsoft, who continually drop the ball on that every single time. There will be way more out there than the other.
I think there will be more people getting a Switch than a PS whatever, an Xbox.
Hang on a second. Nintendo, I really don't believe that Nintendo is going to be smart enough to keep this stuff on backlog. We're talking about a company that's had a history of artificially increasing the demand of their stock. What that means is they create less than what they want to sell, and they pretend like they have to make more, like they can't keep up.
I mean, hell, we saw it with what was it, Super Mario 3D All Stars having a very limited release.
Oh, this started way back in the days of the NES when Super Mario 2 came out. So there was an artificial.
Despite that, they have consistently put out bigger quantities on release than the other two. Is where I'm coming from. Like I understand what you're saying, but there's still always more of them to find, and they stock up quick.
Hey. The SNES Classic, the NES Classic, and the Nintendo Switch Lite would like to have a word with you, Kai.
I was a kid back then, so I don't give a shit.
No, I remember them selling out the NES and SNES Classic. Yeah.
That was also in their infancy, though, so I'm willing to give them some leeway there. So reminder, Playing with Power, the Nintendo Story documentary, available to stream on Crackle starting today. This was the 1st of March. So
from what I heard from Cloudfish TV, it's a really, really, really good documentary to watch, despite the fact that Will Wheaton is in it.
Will Wheaton.
All you have to do is click here and yada, yada, yada. You know what? I'm going to put a link to this.
Yeah, and it's free to watch.
In case anybody wants.
Where's it free to watch?
It's on Crackle.
Oh, okay. Where's the Atlantean?
Oh, where'd he go?
A wild Atlantean disappears.
Yeah, I was just I'm looking up Switches. Most of them are usually $2.99 on Amazon. Just kind of depends on where.
That ain't too bad.
No, that's not too bad at all.
But I don't have the money for it, so screw that.
Is it because I said that I was willing to give Nintendo some leeway because they were in their infancy? Is that what bothered him?
Or he had bad interwebs?
Yeah.
I'm going to say the latter.
Probably that. what's it called? I have to use click here, start watching, etc. Oh, that's it. That's the whole article. Okay, never mind. All right, it's over. Show's over, folks.
Go home. All right. Well, I am getting ready to have to downshift for the day for myself. So I wanted to say thanks for hosting this once again, Kai. I love these streams. Do we have any other news that we need to get to? Anything pressing? Any information that we haven't touched on already?
If not, I'm going to promote something.
Did you guys see the article that I posted on the VIP chat about Microsoft completing the sale of Bethesda and ZeniMax?
Oh, that's right.
Oh, yeah.
I forgot about that.
Well, yeah, this week. Yeah,
that was this week?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Yeah, they fully completed the sale because they were trying to go through like European regulations for that to happen, but no.
Like Bethesda games, like
Bethesda,
the upcoming ones
all
are going to be
it's all under Microsoft,
like Xbox exclusive.
They aren't saying it's gonna be not everything. Some of their feature titles may be Xbox exclusive, but not all of them.
Okay, that makes sense. Man, that's gonna be weird.
So I was just gonna say the game that's free on Epic this week is Surviving Mars. I've got the audio off. I don't know why I shared audio if I have the audio off.
I heard Skill Up talk about this one in his video.
I mean,
sweet.
You have the mute thing right there.
Yeah, I know.
I can hear it.
But so Surviving Mars is a sci-fi city builder. It looks like
made from the same team behind Tropico.
Yeah, Tropico 35. It looks cool.
Yeah, it does.
See that? Hold on, I want to touch on this real quick. This idea, this concept, the sky elevator, is much more feasible on Mars than on Earth because of the lower gravity.
Oh, absolutely.
I agree. I totally agree with that. There was a joke on the Rogue Entertainment chat about like sentient rocks. I was like, oh wait, are you telling me that Mars is Geode's homeworld?
Jeez, you guys in fucking Geode that one stream, that was crazy. That looks like The Martian, but with more stuff built to it.
The Martian, if you didn't get left behind.
No, I mean like the book in the movie, you know, the one with Matt Damon.
It's Disney runner. It's Disney's Pixar's The Martian.
It's awesome. I think I have it on Steam already. I just haven't got a chance to play it. Bill on PS4 too. Oh, cool.
Nice.
Oh, nice. Well, not for free, right? Because it says free on Epic.
Yeah, it's free on Epic right now. So if you're a PC gamer and you've got Epic, Surviving Mars.
But you know, it is free on PlayStation Plus. Final Fantasy 7
Final Fantasy 7 remake is.
And I've been playing it on. Well, I'll plug it later. But I've been playing it on my channel for a bit. It's fun.
Let me check.
Speaking of anything else?
I don't know.
It's this week's
Culture, McAnee, y'all good? Was good.
Yeah,
we good?
I guess if we're gonna start plugging our channels. Anyway, of course I know it's probably goes to the same where we playing today. Currently, right now, I'm back and forth between 3 games right now. I picked up Dirt 5 newest iteration in Codemasters Dirt Series and Project Cars 3 on my PS4. I'm enjoying both of those despite numerous issues with them. And of course, I am continuing playing Bayonetta, which I will be streaming right after this show. So, you know, if you guys got nowhere to be, hop over to my stream and we'll continue playing some Bayonetta.
All right, rock and roll. I've never actually seen Bayonetta, so I'll probably do that. Runner.
I already said what I was playing. I am finally playing a game. Finally this time because I actually found some time to play a game. I started playing Final Fantasy 7 remake on my channel, and it's the only Final Fantasy game I've ever played, and it's pretty good. And if you want to see me fail badly, watch my first part of the stream. I had to stop it because I was really fucking bad. But other than that, I'll probably stream more of that soon until they fix this game. But other than that, I'm pretty good.
I've given up.
See, I haven't even finished the story yet. I'm gonna wait until they fix it.
Yeah, I'm hoping when they fix it, they add all the stuff that they had to cut, and then I'll play the whole story. But Culture, tell us about you, Boo.
Well, I got stuff going on tonight. It's possible that I will be on a few other streams today, whether it be this week in Bologna Sausage or on, of course, Pegasus Actual Podcast. And then, of course, in the end of the evening, go over on Comics Division stream for Throwdown Thursday. Thursday Throwdown, however you want to say that. That's always an amazing stream on and be a part of the chat, even if you're not on the stream. Mm-hmm. It's a blast. And have so much to promote. We have stuff coming up for G&G. They're pre-advertising the charity stream that they're doing on various channels there. We have our
share my screen.
Renner, we haven't gotten to you yet. We'll come back to you in a second.
This is what Culture's talking about. Share my screen. There you go.
With Zack Snyder himself.
Yep.
I will.
And if I'm correct, I think it was 10K has already been donated, or at least half.
Yeah, it's right. See the number? It's right there.
Yep.
10K. Is this happening the day before or the day of release?
This is on the day before. This is on the eve of the Snyder Cut.
Snyder Cut Eve, folks. And I already promoted this on Steven's stream yesterday, but Uche, Ryan Kennel, and Lethal Lightning we're in talks with Zack Snyder to set something like this up. And Geeks and Gamers is doing a collaboration with Zack Snyder to raise money for suicide prevention, because to those who may or may not know, he lost his daughter due to suicide, and that's why he couldn't finish his cut of Justice League. And this is if you don't, and like the whole Snyder Cut release of Snyder Cut thing, it was more than just a stupid comic book movie. It's about raising awareness to suicide prevention, which is what everyone's doing right now, right there. And I think I'll be participating in the chat. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be a blast. If you can't donate, that's fine. Just share this out there. Yes. This is going to be incredible. Even if you're not a fan of his stuff, I'm a fan of his vision, so that's why I'm really excited and stuff. But I know some people aren't, and I know like his vision and his style of filmmaking is not for everyone, and that's fine. Support this and watch the Snyder Cut, because Zack Snyder is like one of the few people working in Hollywood that's pro fandom, and we need people like him. And we got to show Zach what this community is all about.
Oh, damn.
What's up?
No, I was watching Upper Echelon's video, and I looked it up that, PS5 is going to be it has announced that they're adding anti-de novo software. Anti-cheat.
Oh, okay.
If you guys know what de novo is, anti-cheat, it's DRM. And it's leaving fans are divided.
Understandably.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, people aren't going to be happy about DRM. Well, anyway, back to the subject at hand here with Zack Snyder and the whole thing. The day before the Snyder Cut is released, hop on over. Is the link in the chat?
I just posted it right now.
Mm-hmm. Yes, in chat.
Ninja Blast. That is off topic, but I'm glad you remembered, because I totally forgot that.
No, support back Ninja Blast as well. I backed it because it looks fucking awesome.
He is at 2,175, and he's going to be on Tom's Night's Edge stream right after this.
I believe he's live right now on there, but of course, back Fatal J's comic looks amazing, and support this. Yeah.
Right, hold on a second. Hey, Fat Steven, welcome.
Welcome. I actually just finished doing some editing. I put that link in the private chat, but made a small promotional commercial for this charity. It's nothing fantastic.
Let's watch it.
But I posted on Twitter. The music's copyright free. You're okay.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna hit play.
It's from Ben Sound. It's nothing great, but I thought if you guys want to get more eyes on the charity.
That's awesome.
That's amazing. Yes, awesome. Us united, guys.
We all could be heroes.
That's why I didn't pop it. So I put this up on Twitter. It's also on my YouTube. So if you guys want to reshare the link out, so it's still something simple, but you guys need more eyes on it. I think that's about it.
Who's wrestling with a cereal bowl over there?
Sorry, that was me. Sorry about that.
Cool.
That is awesome.
That's incredible.
That works. No likes. Hold on.
I just finished it. That's why I didn't get here. I literally just finished it. I was just doing all the information. But you shouldn't get claimed either. It is from Ben Sound. Ben Sound is fine.
And there'll be some cool.
Hold on. Go ahead and go to that video, give it a watch, a like, a share, etc. Spread the word about the stream. I'm actually gonna share that with Hello Future Me, because he dedicates his time to suicide prevention. So yeah,
that's good.
There you go.
And yeah, there'll also be some cool guests that will appear on that stream. Fiona Zhang, who pretty much started the whole movement, will be there. I forgot who else. Film Gob, the great Film Gob, will be there. If you don't know who Film Gob is, go subscribe. It's great. And I think Gary from Nerdrotic might be there too. So it's gonna be awesome. Along with some other guests probably. Oh, and of course Jeremy will be there from Geeks and Gamers.
Oh, where's the link to the? Let's wrap it up. Because we're already trying to wrap it up.
The link to what?
I apologize.
A link for the Uche thing. Oh no, you don't need to apologize. I just realized
I linked it in the chat. It's in the chat, dude. It says Snyder stream.
All right, cool. You already put it down?
Yeah, I put it down there like a few minutes ago.
Where's the thing?
Or just search on YouTube Uche Waneri and you can find it. You can find the stream.
Yeah, I had it open a minute ago. Dang it. All right. Okay.
Yeah, make sure you promote the hell out of that, guys, because it's gonna be big.
Yeah,
it's gonna be epic.
It's gonna be huge.
I'm looking for it. You know what? Snyder Cut live stream. There it is. Scheduled. March 17th. All right. Sweet. Well, that's it. My channel is kind of on hiatus right now. I got some real life stuff going on I'm dealing with. But we got to go through everyone else except Fat Steven. Fat Steven, what you got going on, brother?
Me?
Yeah.
Pretty much the same routine. I pop in talking to people on the Mario Kart stream with Orts. I do the lunch table at 12 noon Eastern with Lorena Creole. I do my normal gaming stream at 10 a.m. till about 1 p.m. every day. I have my Raiders of the Lost Art. I'm sounding as long as culture. I'm all over the place pretty much, so I'm always there, always available.
Alrighty, well, let's thank our lovely the Gaming Lounge ladies. Just a quick goodbye since we didn't get to play most of them. But everybody have a great evening. Have a kick-ass weekend. Have a lot of fun playing whatever games you're playing. And take care of yourselves. She loved games long time.
Good on, everyone.
Good night, y'all. Have a good one.